Okay, so in this video, we're going to add OpenShift AI to an existing Red Hat OpenShift cluster running on the IBM Cloud. So let's get started. As you can see here on my screen, I've got a 3-node cluster that's running on the IBM Cloud, and I want to add the OpenShift AI capabilities to this. I've got 2 different worker pools. I've got a worker pool of my default worker pool that's just got 2 regular compute nodes, 8 by 32, pretty small, and then I've got another worker pool that's making up the GPU worker node. I've just got a single L40S worker node there with a NVIDIA GPU. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back over to the overview screen and kind of take a look at what we've got. We've got our add-ons here. We've got the file storage add-on added. And you can see down here the other add-ons that are available. We've got the OpenShift Data Foundation in case you need software-defined storage, if you need to add any static routes to your cluster, and you've got these other add-ons. And then we've got the Red Hat OpenShift AI add-on here as well. So this is what we're going to utilize. So we can click on install, and this shows all the different capabilities of what we can deploy and select for our service. And then also down here it shows the NVIDIA GPU operator that'll get installed as well, so we don't have to go through the process of doing that through the operators. However, there is a couple items that I do want to install prior to doing the add-on. The add-on is not going to give me the capability of doing single model serving, and I do want to do that on this cluster eventually. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the cluster itself. So here we are. We're just looking at, here's the nodes that are in the cluster. I'm going to jump over to the operator hub, and we're going to install just a couple operators that I want as a prerequisite to doing the add-on. The add-on will add most of the components that you would need by default, but again, I'm just wanting to also add the single serving model capability as well, and then also Authorino, which will allow us to create token-based authentication for protecting that model that we are serving. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We're going to do Authorino. So we've got Authorino here. We've got a community and a Red Hat. We're going to select the Red Hat version. All the defaults are pretty much everything that we just want to keep. So I'm just going to go ahead and click install on this, and it's going to put it into the OpenShift operators namespace, so everything looks good, and we're just going to click install and let that one go. Then we'll jump back over to the operator hub, and I'm going to do the serverless component as well. So I'm going to do this Red Hat OpenShift serverless. So we're going to click on that. We're just going to leave, again, all the defaults. Everything's good here. Channels is stable, so we're going to leave that. Everything's good. OpenShift serverless namespace, and click install and let that one go. And then we're also going to do the service mesh installation. I'm going to select the service mesh 2 in this scenario, and all the defaults here are good. We're just going to click install, stable, OpenShift operators, everything's good, and click install. So we're going to let those kind of go, get installed. We can just kind of watch here as it goes, as we'll see them get created, and then we'll check back once those are complete. Okay, so we're showing that everything succeeded here, so we should be good to go to jump back over to the IBM Cloud portal to our cluster, and then go through the process of adding the OpenShift AI add-on to this cluster. So we're going to scroll down here. We're going to select the install on the Red Hat OpenShift. We can see here all these items. I'm just going to leave everything checked. We can use a few of these. We're definitely going to go and create some data science pipelines as well as a workbench in some demos in the future. And then also, because we do have an NVIDIA GPU worker node, we want the operator for that and the node discovery to be installed to pick that up. Now, OpenShift AI, it is an add-on. There is a cost to it that you would have to add to the cluster itself. This is at a billed on an hourly basis as well, along with your cluster. So you don't have to go out and buy a license on your own. You can actually utilize the OpenShift add-on here and just buy the license while you're using the cluster as well. And then you don't need to, once you're done with the cluster and you want to shut it down, you're no longer paying, for that as well. So we're going to go ahead and click install here. And again, we're just going to kind of let that go. It's going to go and start. It's in the enabling status, and we'll let that go for a few minutes and check back in just a few. Okay, so it looks like our add-on has been completed. It's showing normal here. We'll jump over to the cluster here and look at our installed operators. So now we can see we've got our GPU operator, node feature, and then also the OpenShift AI added as installed operators. So now we should be able to just kind of go into our little menu here and see we've also got the managed service for the Red Hat OpenShift AI that we can click into, and this will auto authenticate us into the OpenShift AI portal for this cluster. So here we are. We've got a up and running OpenShift AI capability. We can go in and take a look at our settings here. So we can go over to cluster settings, and like I had mentioned before, I wanted to also do single model serving as well as multi-model. So we added that capability, so we have the ability to do both types. So if we went down over to serving runtimes, here's some of the default runtimes that have been enabled within the application. We've got a lot of single model as well as the OpenVINO multi-model, so we can utilize those. We can go over to model servings. You can see there's no deployed models yet, so you have the capability of deploying your own model and doing that. We can check into the data science projects. I'll just click into one of the projects here. The namespace is on this cluster. And this gives you the capability of going and creating some projects and workbenches. So we don't have any workbench created now, but this gives you the functionality to go create a workbench. We've got some default images within the workbench that you can go and select, and then choose your versions, the size of the deployment that you would want for that workbench, depending on the work that you're going to be doing. And then also the capability of creating some persistent storage for that workbench. And then also connecting, creating a connection where we can go in, actually utilize Cloud Object Storage for storing some of that model information. We're not going to go into any of the details within this. I just wanted to take the time with this video to show how easy it is to install the OpenShift AI capability into an existing cluster running on the IBM Cloud. So thanks for watching.